Gonna stand up front. Do you guys mind just taking a knee or sitting down, just so everybody in the back can see you too? All right, watch out for that, bud.
I just.
That's what we're about to learn about.
Tommy knockers.
You the last one? Yes, perfect. All right, so this is actually our mine manager's office. Now, our mine manager at this site, his name was Julius Poley. And like I told you earlier, he was a very smart guy. He was an inventor as well as a geologist. Now, back then, you did not have any technology we do today. He was actually the one that climbed this mountain and pointed out each vein of silver from the surface of the mountain. So, pretty hard to do, definitely. He also invented some of that cool stuff that I showed you guys in that mine. Now, we did not go into a gold mine, we went into a silver mine, and we were actually mining this top shelf up here. The scientific name is called argentiferous galena. Argentiferous is lead and galena is silver. Now, we do not mine for silver in the state of Colorado anymore. You just don't make enough money. I think that amount for about an ounce of it is about $18 or so. So, not even enough to feed this room right now. We do mine what's called molybdenum. And if you guys want to get a good look at it, it's this smaller rock sitting on this bigger one on the second shelf right here.
That one,
The very cool
one.
story behind this is we found this in World War I. Notice when our tanks would get hit with artillery, they would break and snap rather than dent, while the Germans' tanks would only dent. We brought one of their tanks back, found molybdenum in it, and ever since then we've been mining for it. It keeps metal more malleable, so rather than just breaking or snapping, it'll only dent and stay strong. We use it on our guardrails on I-70, so very cool. A little more on these shelves though. Second lowest shelf on your left-hand side. This is what's called a calcium carbide lamp. However, I have no idea what this is doing in this little gallery. These were invented in the early 1900s, so we wanted to show you what we didn't get to use for some reason. I don't understand why. But you did get to use those stylish candle holders on the other side of those. Now you will notice that they do have a hook on them. As dumb as this may sound, that hook is supposed to hook onto your hat so you have a little spotlight.
That
But
green
really,
rock was
not the brightest idea,
there.
right?
That's
You don't
what
want a
the
flame on
Statue of
your head.
Liberty was
A
made
lot of
out of.
those miners did have beards, but they didn't have them for long, right? Now that lowest shelf, I assure you those are replicated tools. Miners were small, but we did not have the 7 little dwarfs in our mine. Average height of a miner was only about 5'5", so pretty short.
How tall is that?
Now, does anybody know what a Tommy knocker is in this room?
Yes.
No.
I do. I
What's
think I
what's
do.
that?
It's a spirit. It's the solar spirit of another miner who died, and if something's about to happen in the miners that were alive say that the Tommyknockers were looking after them and warning them what was going to happen.
Dang, you just took my story from me. That was dead on, actually. Now, do you guys believe in Tommyknockers?
No.
Okay. Well, back then miners were so superstitious that they didn't want to interfere with that Tommyknocker, and that's why he did not let women or photography in the mine. He thought he wouldn't warn anybody anymore if he did that. Now, I tell you this because these photos behind you, these are very rare photos. Not going to see many of these. One on the top left is a single jacking team. He's working by himself with a 4-pound hammer and chisel, while the one on the other side is a double jacking team, exactly what we demonstrated to you. It's a two-man team. One's holding an 8-pound hammer and one's holding a drill steel, just holding that for his buddy. Now, you will notice that they do not wear gloves or hard hats. Actually, they never wore gloves in this mine site. And I did tell you about those hard hats. They were around, but we were just hard-headed like that. Now, coolest thing, believe it or not, there's a Tommyknocker in one of these photos. I want everybody to get a good look at it. It's very, very cool. Above the gentleman on the right-hand side, about 2 inches above his head, you can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, just so perfectly. Now, they did not have Photoshop back then or anything like that, so that is the real deal. I've looked for that rock forever, and I cannot find it. So I'll actually step out of the way and let you guys check it out. One more thing I do want to talk to you guys about is these pictures everywhere, actually. Now, this photo is a picture of Georgetown in about 1884. Now, the mine has been open for about 10 years or so, but I like to see if anybody can point out anything missing in that photo. I-70. I-70. You don't have horses going that fast.
The train.
I was actually put in
The train.
Yeah.
The train.
Yeah.
The train.
It's not the train. I'll give you a hint. It's on the mountainside.
A mine.
The loop.
No.
Skiing.
What is everything made out of in here?
Tree.
Exactly.
Wood.
We actually clear cut our forest by 60-mile radius. Just to give you an idea, probably from here to Vail. Just because everything was made out of that wood back then, that's how you kept warm in the wintertime, just needed a lot of wood. So just imagine looking outside and not seeing a tree in sight for over 60 miles. Not the best sight to see. I hope no one ever does have to see that, but it's very cool that we do actually have a photo of it. So actually all these trees outside are all still baby trees. They're less than 150 years old, so it's very, very cool. Now, does anybody have any questions in here?
No.
All right.
No.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Hey, if you liked it, recommend us to your friends and family. But if you didn't, I understand. Recommend us to your enemies and in-laws, and I'll show them a different one back there. Right?
This is the Lebanon
We
mine.
actually got to start
So-
getting up that hill. I don't know if you guys do want to wait for the rest of your class groups, but that train is about to be on its way. So. Yeah, let's,
This is
get
the
outside 'cause I need to
Lebanon
see
mine
them
in
the sun.
Colorado.
Yep.
And bye, guys.